Next up, we have Paradigm Shift by Xtrullor featured in Geometry Dash, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you use, like the video, share, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, join the Patreon, subscribe to the gaming channel, subscribe to the Reacts channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream members, getting early access to the content, I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things later on this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. With that, let's do this. Paradigm Shift, let's go. Make a stream where you don't talk at all. I mean, we could always just pan to the live pan reaction, you know? We could totally just do that. You know, we have the live pan reaction right there. And we could just do that, you know? Anyway, let's go. Okay, we have a few components going into this. We are fading in. We are slowly increasing the volume of the music as we are going. We have three main components. We have the first synth up above, giving us some initial arpeggios. And arpeggio being when you play a chord one note at a time. For example, here's C minor, here's arpeggiated. And basically we're doing like this continuous one. Then we have a drum giving us an initial beat. And then we are having another synth a little bit lower than that, giving us a potential bass line, definitely giving us the chords that we're playing, maybe giving us the bass line on top of that, right? The bass line, as in bass line, is going to be usually the lowest notes that you're going to hear in the bass. Basses have a very special place in music, where, especially if it's a bass guitar, it's not something you really hear, it's something you more feel. And because of that, the bass can often go off and do its own thing, and it won't affect the music that much, and sometimes will even elevate it. If you want to see somebody that does that really, really well, there's two bass players that I can think of. There's Victor Wooten, of course. He's one of the best bass players to ever live on the face of this earth. His approach to music and bass is just something incredible. Like, the guy has done a lot of lectures, and if you're a bass player and you want to really get good at it, Victor Wooten is definitely somebody to see. And the other one, of course, being Charles Bertude. Charles Bertude, he's from my same alma mater. We went to Berkeley. I don't think we ever were there at the same time. I think he's either from before my time or after my time, but he went to Berkeley as well, and he's insane. He is basically the British Victor Wooten. Victor Wooten is American, and he's basically the British version of him. He's insanely good. Anyway, so we're having really good basses. Let's see where this goes. Slowly bring it up. Oh. Okay, so we bring in a melody over here. We start with a little cadential melody, and then we are dropping in the first beat, which is very nice. Like Xtrullor has always had such a good sound design. And we bring in this very nice drums, not quite dropping a beat, but giving us a very, very good tempo for this. We have a synth higher up, giving us that initial melody. Like the actual melody containing what I believe would be our actual initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. But most importantly, we have another synth on the side, playing the chords, giving us some syncopation. Syncopation being when you play against the chords, against your drums, against your beat, or against your metronome. In this case, we are bringing a bit of reggae style-wise to this electronic music. The drums are very heavy, but that little bang, 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 bang that we keep getting from that chord is giving it that sense of easiness to it, which is very emblematic with reggae, right? Like reggae, very much like hippie music, Bob Marley, that kind of stuff. And we're adding a little bit of that to this very epic sounding sound design. Let's see where it goes. Some extra. Ooh. Oh, kalimba there, and off the ramp we go. Just like that. Off the ramp we go. Off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there is no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I like to call a particular type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. How do you do this? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well. But most importantly, right before that, we had a melody chain. Melody chain is another colloquial term that I use, right? Melody chain, which is we have one singular melody that is spread throughout many instruments. We basically started the melody with what sounded like a kalimba. Like the kalimba, and then we moved it to a couple of other synths. Like it sounded like a kalimba, like this handheld, very, very beautiful chime. We have that. Let's see where it goes. Spike, what are you doing? There's the arpeggios again. Vocal sample in the back. Chimes. Guitar. Build up. Orchestral percussion. Synth, we have the build up synth. And straight into the build-up. Alright, that was nice. That was nice. So, we have the build-up and we engage in a little bit of rhythmic displacement for this drop. Very, very long build-up for this one, and I think it paid off. So, when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you're resolving that tension. That point in between, we call the cadence with resolution. Building and dropping the beat has the same dynamic. So in the case of rhythmic displacement, what we just did, especially at that point where you expected the beat to drop, we pushed it back. We ended up using another sample in between. You can use silence or whatever it is, which gives you extra phantom tension that makes your drop or your resolution that much more pronounced. So we do that one and we drop the beat, right? We bring the whoop whoop bass that is so emblematic in dubstep, that kind of stuff. Let's hear a bit more before I elaborate more. There's the initial cadential. Oh, we're adding the melodies again, yes. Whoop whoop bass. Hey, welcome to how you doing? Nice. Okay, so even though we have the whole dropping the beat, whoop whoop bass and everything, we are still adding the melody in between. Like, we're not having a continuous melody, but we are sneaking the melody here and there, allowing for that motif to still play. When you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is one universal exception, no matter the style or genre, which is solos. And then electronic music has an additional exception, which is dropping the beat. You bring in a solo, you drop the beat, as long as it sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with almost anything. Meaning, the principle of familiarity and new material become more relaxed, which just means you're not going to be able to get away with everything, you will be able to get away with quite a bit. As we're hearing over here, we are, like, this is unrelated material. This is a dubstep drop, but we can mess around with rhythm, we can mess around with texture, and as long as it fits enough, and this is cool enough, we get away with it. Let's see where it goes. Alright. Continuing that very nice drop, and bit of an extension there. Bit of that reggae single chord and that reggae syncopation. Speeding up the pace a little bit. So yeah, no, like, again, this is all mainly experimenting around bringing different versions, different beats and everything. Straightforward enough so that it's easy to keep track of, but still innovative enough that it just sounds really cool and it sounds fresh every single time. So You know what else sounds fresh every single time? The Patreon. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. If you don't support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Even if you're not pledging any money, do join the free tier at least, because this is where the non-gaming LFAs are going. What are those? Anime, film, TV, label music, the kind of stuff that we usually don't do on the main channel. Why? What we do on YouTube is inherently fair use. That does not stop bad actors such as record labels, film studios, independent, individual, rat scammers from abusing the copyright system on YouTube. So in order to just not deal with that for these LFAs, we're putting them here on Patreon, free for everyone to watch, with paid members, citizen tier and above, getting early access to the content. So, if you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today, consider becoming a paid member today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Thank you to those who are already members, especially those who are paid members, particularly Real Nemesis, French Guy, and Another Random, and Amayar. Your support means the world to me. Thank you for your continued support. For everybody else, become a member today, a patron today. Consider becoming a paid patron today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Become a member today. That was a decent enough segue, right? Oh, that was a decent enough segue. Let's pan away for our deadpan reaction. Thank you for your very valuable contribution. Let's continue. God. It's so bad, man. Nice. Oh. Off the ramp again. A single note from Shamisens. New version of the melody. Okay, so we bring in some ambience. Don's hair looks so neon. I think that's the sunshine. I don't know. It's like 7 p.m. over here, and oh no, it's not the sunshine. No, it's just the light from the kitchen. Anyway, so we have ambience over here, and we are now spacing out some melodies, doing what sounds to be potentially a new variation of the motif, maybe. And we are using some world music instrument. It sounds like we are doing like maybe a shamisen? Maybe a shamisen over here. Like, it sounds a little too metallic to be a shamisen. Maybe a banjo? No, I don't think it's a banjo. The shamisen being this Japanese traditional instrument. My conspiracy theory is that it's a precursor to a banjo, but I have no evidence for it. That's why it's a conspiracy theory. But yeah, we're having something like that. This might be something that maybe leaning more Indian, maybe leaning more Middle Eastern. We're using what is called a world instrument, a world music instrument, right? World music is what we call exotic. That is just the musical term for exotic music that goes beyond the Western Hemisphere. So anything outside of Latino music, everything outside of American music, European music is considered world music. European, like starting from like the Baroque period and onwards. So folk music, traditional older music for, you know, you have like the Celtic music, Gaelic music, Hungarian, Polish, then you have like the Balkan music, the Greeks, the Turks, Middle East, Africa, Asia in general, those kinds of places where like the ancient kind of music, that all falls under the label of world music. It basically just means everything that goes beyond the standards of the West. So yeah, we're having a world instrument over here, a world music instrument. Let's see where this goes. Give us this rendition of melody. We have the arpeggios in the background. Yeah, I don't... Piano in the back there. Ooh, little chromaticism there. Switching around. Yeah, I don't know which instruments these are. Really cool, though. We're bringing back... And we bring a call and response. Okay, so we bring in this instrument over here. Like, it's not... Maybe a zitar. Maybe a zitar? Maybe. I am not sure if it's a zitar or not. If it is, then hell yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. every LFA and jam and shred make it eventually. The only ones that don't are jam and shreds that get like a copyright notice. Like those are the only ones that I just delete and that's it. But in general, everything should make it to the channel eventually. Yeah, like there might be a delay for some of them, but in general, everything makes it. So yeah, we have what could be a Z-Tot. It's definitely an Eastern instrument. But we're having that, and we brought in a call and response, right? Call and response, because we brought in like a chorus, like a choral sample. Call and response being a musical conversation. We just had the Z-Tot doing a phrase, and then we had the chorus there giving us a response, right? A chorus, or a choir, or a chorale, that being a big group of people that sings together. We bring a big, it's an ode, thank you. The ode. Yep, there we go. Yep, this is it. The oud. I completely forgot about this one. Yep, that's the multiple strings. That's the sound we're getting. That's an oud. Thank you. So yeah, very much an a world music instrument. Very, very much a world music instrument. We have the oud here. Looks like a variation of a lute. Difference is that this one has the double string arrangement, where each string is actually 2 strings, and that's how we are getting this very, very, very cool sound that we are getting from it. Thank you, the oud. There you go. So yeah, we're having the oud over there, and then we are bringing the chorus, right? Chorus, chorale, choir, same term, different names. Big group of people singing, which is then subdivided into the different vocal ranges that we can find. Usually the SATB, right? SATB stands for soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. These are the 4 most common vocal ranges out there. Soprano being the higher range for women, alto being the lower range for women, then we have gender divide, tenor being the higher range for men, bass being the lower range for men. These, as I said, the most common ones you can find. These are going to be range anywhere between, I would say, 90 to maybe around 95% of the world population. Meeting somebody outside of these 4 is very rare. Between these, we do have a couple of extra ones. We have the mezzo-soprano between the soprano and the alto, and the baritone between the tenor and the bass. These ones follow a similar principle each other. The mezzo-soprano they're gonna either be the full range of the surrounding ranges or somewhere in between. So a mezzo-soprano is going to be the full range of a soprano and an alto, or somewhere in between. Baritone is gonna be a range, either the full range of the tenor and the bass, or somewhere in between. In my case, for example, I am a baritone. I have a good chunk of the range of the tenor. I have a good chunk of the range of the bass. I just don't quite reach either extreme very comfortably. Once you take these 2 into account, this number grows to about 99.99% of the world population. It's extremely, extremely rare to meet somebody outside of these. So yeah, we're bringing that and we're using that as a response. Let's see where this goes. There's the oud, yeah. Violin samples. Bring orchestral and world music to this. Hell yeah. There we go, and we're slowly adding more. Basses build up off the ramp, and we had a little bit of arpeggio there from like kind of thing just from the violins there at the very end. I found that funny. Anyway, build up, I think. Yep. Kalimba carrying the melody. Welcome back, news. Yeah, we sound like we had another bowed instrument. It sounds like we had some pizzicato there as well. Pizzicato being a technique, usually referring to violins, violas, cello, right? So if you bring a violin picture over here, violins, violas, cellos, overall they have the same principle. They have a similar body that you then need to play with a bow. However, pizzicato is when instead of playing the violin with the bow, you pluck the string instead. So we're paradigm and then shift. It was quite the paradigm shift. We went from electronic to a little bit of world music to now having also orchestral elements. It's Xtrullor. I really like his his way of like adding instrumentation and whatnot. And right now we are engaging in orchestration, right? So orchestration or instrumentation, they study the art of picking the right instruments for the right sound, the right texture, sometimes the right psychological response, that kind of stuff. And right now we are getting all of these different textures over here. Quite the paradigm shift. Like paradigm shift, it's usually to refer to when somebody's worldview changes, right? You have a paradigm shift, you have a certain paradigm, and then your worldview changes, your paradigm shifts. Usually it's in the context of it being a shocking thing. And right now we are seeing, we had like the Western instruments at the start. We introduced some Eastern instruments, a very shocking thing, and then we're just implementing and integrating them into different parts of the music. I think it tells a very nice story. I think it tells a very nice story. So with that, let's see where this goes. There's the strings. It's like a viola, I think. I'm gonna see. With the rhythmic displacement, and we drop the beat. Full drop. Full drop of the beat, but this time we bring analog drums. So the first time around we had the electronic drums. Now we're using real drums. Oh my god. Oh, nice textures there. Yeah, this time we're not really including any melodies over here. Full on drop. So good. Oh, and just there we used one of the most devastatingly effective tools that a musician has at their disposal. Silence. How do you know if it's analog or digital? There are certain timbres. There are some certain tones and timbres that are a little bit different. But mainly, an analog drum kit will be will give you the sounds that you can get from something like this. And usually, these will have the sound of the physicality around them. So if you hit one of these cymbals, you will not only get the hit of the cymbal, but also the residual energy that dissipates throughout the cymbal. You hit one of the toms or something, you will also get the residual sound of it. They will have a little bit of echoing to them, that kind of stuff. Whereas electronic drums tend to be just basically the pitch, right? Like it's just the bass drum hit, and it's just the... And that's it, right? Whereas with electronic drums, you will have the doom. You will actually have that little bit of extra stuff. And of course, as you listen to more and more music and you get a bit more experience, you start noticing the differences between the drum kits that are used. And usually the difference is that an analog kit is going to be, well, like this, and an electronic drum kit is going to be on a drum pad. Electronic music drum pad. It's gonna be something like this, right? Like at most you would see something like this, where each one of these can be played, but they carry an audio sample of usually the synthesized drums that you want to get, right? Like, as again, there are a bunch of different versions of this, like the live version that you can use for some of these. Usually these are just going to be configured in audio libraries that you would see. So yeah, we're using something like that right now. We're using, I'm pretty sure Xtrullor didn't get a real live drum. He ended up using samples of a live drum kit, but we're using that instead to give that contrast. Like, it seems that every single part of this so far has had some sort of contrast. Like, everything has had contrast to it for that whole idea of the paradigm shift. Like, that there's something there that might not fully fit that leads to a massive change. That has been the pattern so far. Let's see where this goes. Nice syncopated. Nice. We're back to electronic drum kit, by the way. The snare, not so much. We might have a mix over here, I think. Nice. Very rhythmic, as I said. Extended rhythmic displacement. Back to ambience. Melody high up. We're in the outro. That melody giving us one last run. The melody. We resolve that scale down with a very nice elongation, and everything resolves nicely. So elongation is a way to develop your material in which you play a slower version of something you've done before. In this case, we had like this free time kind of thing. This might have been some rubato. Rubato is basically free time, right? Where you give the player the liberty of not adhering to the metronome or any beat like that. In this case, we had the very lovely ambience kind of thing, so you can just freehand the beat, so to speak. And with that, there you have it. Paradigm Shift by Xtrullor, featured in Geometry Dash, is my understanding. That was really cool. Again, it's like seeing the actual theme of this. Like there's always that one thing that isn't supposed to fit, but is still there and making so much out of it. Really good, man. I really enjoyed it. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you use, like the video, share, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first. Whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. We have the community there. We hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people, sort of claim them as our own, where I host the Vintage Story community server, that kind of stuff. Also, share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, so linked in the description. Help the channel grow. Members get early access to content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting you in 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the main comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So, if you live in Guías Cerro de las, which is like Guide Hill of the... It was incomplete. And you're like, yeah, but what time is whatever time it is in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, both linked in the description, and it's going to show the streaming schedule up to date in your local time zone, accounting for daylight savings if necessary. And subscribe to the gaming channel. Follow the gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are a bastard. It's wrap up the gaming after show recordings when they happen. We play games on the later part of the stream, and then the VODs for every game we play live eventually end up over here. So subscribe to the channel. Linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. Swap the J for a G, and you got it. Thank you again for 900 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And subscribe to the Reacts channel. The LFAs are React format. This is where we're putting the Reacts for everything else. James Reacts Basterd. Subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd. Extend the R to React, and you got it. Thank you again for already 700 subscribers here. I really do appreciate it. And, yeah. There you have it. Paradigm Shift, Xtrullor GD. That was awesome, dude. Xtrullor makes such good music, man. I really enjoyed it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But, yeah, let's move on.